still intense. It'll be intense if the band is charged, no matter what. Whatever you're using, it's not, oh, the chopstick hurts. No, it's the band being blocked is bringing that awareness. So now I'm thinking, I'm going to give him a little rest on here, but I'm going to come back there later, and I'm going to do this band and just give it, my first run over. It's an exploratory run as well, right? I'm exploring how he reacts, the whole thing. And again, I'm again paying attention to his breath. And I've already worked here a little bit, so I'm going to come here. And again, at this angle, because I want the energy to go that way. So I support his thumb with my other fingers. And again, we can see that that's around probably, I could check with him, but I'm thinking I'm in the 8 to 10 realm. Would that be an 8 to 10 somewhere? Yeah. And he gives the subtle thing is the fact that his, thumb starts to like, whoa, you can feel that. Okay, so now I'm changing my angle. See how I changed it up here? Again, projecting my energy to send that trapped energy that way. And I will come back here, do a little bit more here, just because I feel like something's going on still in here. I'm going a little 10% harder than I did to start with. And it's trapped in all sorts of directions. Because as I say, even though this band supposedly starts here, I think it actually starts here, goes under the nail, and we just can't work it. So even here, I'm changing my angle that way to send that energy, because that's so blocked in his thumb there. I'm gonna put a different angle on his thumb, and I'm even gonna come this way. And again, I know I'm working near his threshold, so I'm watching his breath, and I'm sensing if he's going to tighten up against me, and I'm giving him time to process. Because if you don't give people time to process, they're more likely to block you out. Say, hey, I'm not ready for that, Let me have a couple breaths, When you're working near this threshold. So again, patience and perseverance. I could even just do something like this just to give him a little rest and stretch the thumb, but that thumb is so tight, that we're hitting his threshold very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to come in now, and again, I was following this band, so I'm going to come back to that. And just hold it and let him breathe into it. Change the angle. You can see the change in the angle brings it more awareness. Then, I'm slightly, with this finger, if you notice, I'm going to ever so slightly push the thumb into the chopstick. And then as he absorbs that, I'm going to move the chopstick. So the movements are incredibly subtle. If you're not really tuned in, they're the tiniest little movements, but it's fucking amplified for him, And it's about moving that blockage. Always think, how are we going to move it? So then I'm coming more into the very middle of the thumb pad, and I'm getting in a bit deeper, and again, holding it, and then moving it ever so slightly side to side, and then back in at that slight angle, pushing it down. Energy's coming into as well as into this hand. It's coming. It's fucking like all over, right?
Sorry about that.
It's all right. I'm a glorified fucking sewage worker. That's what I do. But thank you for your apology. I'll accept it. Sorry for filling you guys with shit earlier too, man.
Yeah. I'll just give it in there.
No, I know. But, that's what we do. Sorry to hear that you're so fucked up. See if I can help you. It genuinely makes me sad to see. Do you know what I mean? I feel sorry for people. I feel sorry for myself sometimes when I'm fucked up. But, seeing this, I'm like, oh, poor you. You're not getting the most out of life when you got, tension. And I don't mean it from I'm enjoying the center of attention. You can't live your true dharma, your true life purpose, your soul calling as well, which is the deeper form of happiness. deepest happiness is not all about yourself, you know, it's about your connection with the whole, right? Yeah, with others and the whole. So now I'm coming back to this one. I've done a bit of work there. That's why I say, you know, I spent 70%, and I could be under exaggerating. Holding that point, I know how charged he is, so what I'm going to do is a slight movement like that. You can see, and then I'm going to come in and move it slightly side to side. Then change the angle, and I know I'm pushing him now to his threshold, or I think I am, but I could check with him. How's that, Jim? Yeah, that's what I thought. So, as Jim develops trust in me, he's gonna, you know, like working at a 9, even a 9.5, but if he knows that I'm working at a 9.5 and I'm not gonna push him, then we can get, you know, but I don't wanna always keep him at a 9.5 either. And the other thing is he needs to still process it. So again, just bringing that awareness and letting him breathe into it. And I'm easing off slightly. And then projecting, and then a slight movement there to get that trapped energy moving. And then I want to give him a rest from that intensity. And again, come in and just see, okay, let's move the joint. We might get some clicks, we might not. We might get, you know, other things moving. And then use my thumbs just to